Good afternoon, folks. Chief Meteorologist Nick Lilliga here with a look at your detailed forecast for October 28th of 2019, brought to you by the good folks at Pine Belt Gutters and Remodeling. I will say this, as we head through the next couple of days, high-impact weather forecast coming for you trick-or-treaters. We don't take this lightly. I know that candy is a pretty big deal, and I'm not trying to get between an 8-year-old and a Snickers bar. I have learned many a lesson over the years. Down off to the south of us, we've got some Gulf of Mexico moisture. To the northwest of us, we've got an area of low pressure as well as a cold front. You can see it's already snowing across parts of Kansas. Hey, look on the bright side, kids. At least you don't got to trick-or-treat in snow with snow on the ground. But this Gulf of Mexico moisture that's down here is kind of loosely associated with what's happening with the Central American gyre is going to become an interesting addition to trying to figure out what the weather's going to do over the next couple of days. Good news for us as we head through the day tomorrow. No threat for severe weather, though we do have some risk for some flash flooding across some of our southeastern counties. You folks in Lucedale and is down toward like Janus and parts of southern Perry County and kind of a sliver of parts of Greene County. Just a 1 on the 1 to 4 scale from the WPC in terms of your flooding risk, with high being, of course, the highest risk for flash flooding. I will say this, as we head through the day, on Wednesday, we start to introduce a threat for some severe storms across some of our extreme northwestern counties. I suppose it's just outside of our neck of the woods, as well as a risk across our area for some severe weather, unfortunately, as well. So as we head through the next couple of days, we are going to be getting back into the chances for some thunderstorms and, unfortunately, some flooding out there. So as you're making plans for the day before and the day of Halloween, please keep that in mind. Our timeline for severe weather from 7 a.m. on Wednesday all the way through 5 p.m. on Thursday. Now, the good news here is that we're not going to get pasted with severe weather for the better part of 36 hours. That's the good news. However, as the warm front glides through the area during the day on Wednesday and reintroduces the chance for some rain, there is going to be the potential for some flooding across the area and the chance that some of these thunderstorms maybe has some pretty gusty wind in it. Then we have a cold front roll through as we head through the morning to midday on Thursday. That brings us another chance for some showers, thunderstorms, plus the potential for an isolated tornado and the potential for maybe some small hail. There's also the chance, we cannot rule it completely out, that during the day on Wednesday that there's a risk for a stray tornado. But as of right now, that's not our main concern. Main concern for Wednesday is some gusty wind and the flooding, especially across some of our southern counties. So again, I know this timeline looks like it's really long and very wide, but it's not going to be just a knockdown, drag out, 36 hours of rain around here. It's going to kind of shake out like this. So here we go through. We're going to start things off for tomorrow. Yes, there's a chance tomorrow morning for some showers and thunderstorms a little closer to the coast. Some of those may drift through the rest of the area as we head through the rest of the day. Right now we're calling for a mostly cloudy day. You'll probably see some patches of sun, and you'll also probably see some wayward showers here or there, about a 40% chance for rain through the day. Even through the evening, as you sit down for dinner, you may run into a shower here or there. You drive somewhere to grab some supper, you may have to use the windshield wipers a couple of times. By Wednesday morning, again, this is when the chance for severe weather in our area starts to pick up. Again, mainly kind of a flooding risk early on, because these are going to be some pretty proficient rain producers that move through the area as we head through mid-morning and toward midday. Now, right now, our Futurecast is breaking out some of the strongest storms across parts of Alabama. That may wiggle around a little bit, and because it's so close to our area, I'm not quite ready to say there's a 0 chance for severe weather for us, but I am willing to say that that threat is pretty low. As we head through the afternoon, the models kind of have a tough time once we get out this far, our high-res guys. It's just basically picking up on a pretty decent shot all across the area. And then as we head through the overnight hours and into early Thursday morning, here comes the cold front. That starts to march our direction as we head through the mid-morning hours on Thursday, and that could bring us another chance for showers, thunderstorms, and potential for some severe weather. That one is going to include the potential for an isolated tornado, 1 tornado or 2, maybe even some tornado warnings associated with that as well. Wind gusts up to about 50, maybe even 60 miles an hour, and again, probably a little bit of flooding. There's also a chance, here's the leading edge, that we get some pretty decent heavy stratiform and elevated thunderstorm rain out of that back in behind the original front. So it's not going to be a situation like this last week where the front rolls through, you get the big gust of wind for the better part of an hour or two, and you get all the rain, and then it just is done. This may be a situation where the front rolls through with the thunderstorms, and then back in behind it, the rain kind of continues as we head through midday and into the early evening hours, which may, unfortunately, given the fact that we're talking about Halloween on Thursday, throw a wrench in kids' ability to get a Snickers bar, which is, again, why I take this forecast very seriously. I'm not trying to get between an 8-year-old and a Snickers bar. So the hope is that all of this moves through and moves out by the time we get toward about 4, 5, or 6 o'clock, because once we get through this back edge, the stuff behind that is reasonably light or not there at all, which means that maybe past 4, 5, 6 o'clock, you kids can get out there, knock on doors, and trick-or-treat to your heart's content. The problem is that by 6 o'clock, some cities, trick-or-treating is over. And so it becomes a very delicate balance between when is the rain moving out and when is trick-or-treating beginning and ending to figure out if you guys can get out there without getting wet. Now the good news, again, more good news, is that once we get through the cold front and these elevated thunderstorms, I think by midday, early afternoon, the rain behind that is just rain. We don't have to worry about severe weather. So you kids, if you make a costume and it is water resistant, you should be okay. But again, we have to watch the timing for this very closely because, as you guys all know, weather can change around here and change quickly. How much rain are we talking about? Well, let's give it an old shot here. It's not going to work for me. Between 1 to 2 inches of rain across the area. I apologize about that. 1 to 2 inches of rain across the area between most of the modeling. And it kind of breaks down like this up at 500 millibars. I want to kind of walk you guys through a couple of different things. There's our little area of low pressure. Here we are on Wednesday. Notice how far away it is from us, but the area where it's in is doing a good job at pulling that Gulf of Mexico moisture in. We've got a ridge of high pressure out here. Again, stuff goes around clockwise, so we're just pulling in Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico air into our area, and we're doing so out ahead of an area of low pressure. We've got divergence aloft, a lot of cool weather terms. All it means is there's a pretty decent shot for some showers across the area on Wednesday. And again, that's why we're concerned about flooding, is because we're parking Gulf of Mexico air in a place where it just is going to keep on raining and raining and raining. Then, as that area of low pressure swings by just off to our north, cold front moves through during the day. We're only at 70 for a mid-morning or midday high temperature. I think then we start to fall and tumble as we head through the afternoon and evening, so it could be kind of a chilly night to trick-or-treat. That kicks on out of here. We go zonal back in behind that in terms of a mid-level flow, which really doesn't mean much in terms of weather heading our direction. It's just going to be chilly. 59 for your day on Friday, 63 on Saturday. We've got all this riffraff happening to the north, but for us, 64 on Sunday. Not really much doing. Maybe a 10% chance that you catch a shower on Monday and into Tuesday as well, maybe even into Wednesday and Thursday. But by then, it looks like we're trying to get into kind of a northwest flow back in behind a little system that tries to sneak through here. And that is a dry flow for us. And in fact, once we get through this rain, it does look reasonably dry beyond that. So increasing clouds as we head through the day tomorrow, warmer and humid, with the thunderstorms possible Wednesday and Thursday. And again, we may see some rain for tomorrow with these increasing clouds, but the main bulk of the stuff is showing up on Wednesday and Thursday with an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain from what we just picked up the other day. We're cooler by the time we get into this weekend, though, with highs in the lower 60s and lows perhaps even kissing the 30s in some places. Chilly stuff. 54 degrees in Hattiesburg and Laurel as you wake up tomorrow morning. Here comes the clouds and maybe a little bit of rain here and there. And as we head through the afternoon, temperatures top out in the low 70s. But again, it's the stuff that shows up on Wednesday and Thursday that we're most concerned about, not because we've got some kind of crazy severe weather outbreak, but again, because I do not want to get between an 8-year-old and a Snickers bar. Doing our best down here to keep you guys informed. There's a look at your detailed forecast for October 28th of 2019, brought to you by the good folks at Pine